Con Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Tuesday show, March 4th, 2025. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you watch it on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. We'll tell you about our super chat momentarily. If you're watching on X, we say hello to you. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Look, I'm feeling good. Even though the weather's ugly outside, I'm wearing pink because I know Easter is around the corner. Easter brings spring. So, look, I'm throwing it out there. I'm positivity. I'm energy. Went and worked out, man. The family's good. I'm glad to be here with you guys. And also, we have a new contest that I can't wait for Ryan and mine to talk about for you guys in the chat. So I'm excited to be with you, man. Let's do this.
Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, bud.
Hey, fellas. Happy Fat Tuesday. How about it, huh?
There it is.
Fat Tuesday, did you eat any punchki
Not
today?
yet. I was hoping there'd be a whole bunch here. I did see there might be like a half dozen in the back.
Kathy usually puts a couple to the
I
side.
might grab one on my way out, but I know you probably had a ton at Fox.
Not only did we have a ton at Fox today.
I was hoping you'd bring some in.
Well, they were all gone by
Okay.
they were all gone by 10 o'clock.
I see.
But we had the punchki coney dog too.
I saw that on Instagram.
From American Island, from American Coney Island downtown. Brings them in.
What's Grace doing?
She's putting a coney dog in the middle of punchki.
Yeah, with the chili and onion and
replacing the bun
Yeah.
with the punchki. And
Wow.
it was tremendous.
Wow.
It was tremendous.
Could you actually eat it with your hands, or do you have to use a fork and knife?
I didn't have a knife, so I stuck a fork
I got you.
in the middle of all of it, kind of like a spear, and I kind of like ate it like that.
Okay.
So,
That's
I was
perfect.
dressed I was
That's
dressed
a perfect
nice.
way to
Yeah,
do
I
it.
was dressed
Spear.
nice.
Meanwhile, I had a Carlo detox from Beyond. It was that's what's up. It was good. I was listening to it. They were talking about it. It was good.
It was good. Now
I had a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's right. I just had a little piece of chicken here because I was going to pass out. I mean, that was way early this morning.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was going to pass out. I wouldn't been able to do the show if I didn't have a little piece of
God,
chicken.
we need
or
you.
something like
We need
that.
you, man.
Can't
Yeah.
go nowhere without some gas in the tank.
Let me tell you, I'd be angry. I get hangry if I'm
Angry.
If I'm mad, it's one of two things: I have no sleep, or I'm very hungry,
Or nowhere to park.
Facts.
or
Yep.
nowhere to park, or
I
nowhere to
agree.
park. There's no
You
doubt.
had the trifecta.
Can I say this real quick about my downtown experience the other night?
Go, please.
So, my wife and I, we haven't done anything lately, like, nothing where it's just her and I. So, get home from work Friday night. Let's go get a bite to eat. Stick the kids. My mom comes over. It's fine. Yeah, Ma, come on over. Last minute.
Love that.
She comes over. Call up. My wife always wanted to go to a restaurant that I shouldn't even say the name of it. I'm not going to say the name of it.
Okay.
So I call up, got a reservation. Great, come on down.
What's the first initial?
No. What section of the city is it in?
Near LCA.
Okay,
I know where
district.
it's at.
Okay.
Completely did not even consider the fact that there was a Pistons game. To me,
man.
it's just
Yeah.
a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, that we're going to dinner. And at this restaurant, there's no valet, and they don't have any parking lots.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
And near the restaurant, these lots were trying to get me $80 to park.
Amazing.
$80 for a Pistons game. I was so mad. I was so hot. I was like, I'm just going to eat. I said, okay, I'm just going to eat. Can I get out? What can you do? $50. I said, you know what? Okay, 50. His partner, no 50. 80.
Yeah, what?
That was the owner.
And so I looked at the guy, and I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you. I said, F you and F off, and then I left. So I called my wife, who I dropped off in the restaurant, thinking this wasn't going to be a problem. And
Should have called me. I could have found a spot for you.
that's not the point. So she says the waitress.
Sometimes you got to be mad.
Right. The waitress indicated there was a parking lot or a parking structure about a block and a half away. So I go there. It's one of those credit card machines like we have here at Peabody Street with no people. It is, you put your credit card in and you take it out and you wait for the thing to lift up. Whatever. So that doesn't work great. So there's a line about 6-7 cars deep.
Oh.
And it was my best option. So I wait in there, go up to, again, Pistons game.
You're on the roof.
You're parking. I'm parking on the 4th level.
Yeah.
Dinner's over. Sign the check. We're leaving. Game empties out.
Oh, no.
I knew where this was going from jump.
50 minutes.
Oh.
5-0. 50 to get out of the parking structure downtown from the 4th floor. I didn't move off the 4th floor for the first 20 minutes because it is one lane out of the parking structure. And again, credit card in, credit card out. Oh, which way do I put my credit card in? Credit card in, credit card out.
How much was the parking?
It's $25.
Okay.
Fine. Not reading. In, out. Oh, this machine isn't reading my card. Did I use that card? Which card did I use? This is an absolute mess down here, and it's because of these parking structures. Nobody wants to park in the parking structures that I think you allow parking downtown in these lots to get so expensive.
Yeah.
It is, what kind of city are we trying to be charging people $80?
Yeah.
In New York.
I told Marielle Lou this, who I work with at Fox 2. She's from Atlanta. She's been here for 10, 11 years, but she's from Atlanta. She's like, $80? She's like, they don't get that in Atlanta. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And not only that, you should not be, how do I say this? I'm for capitalist society. The city should require human beings, at least one, to be at these parking structures on an event night. Somebody there to take a ticket, help people at entry, and help people at the exit.
I agree.
Some of them do. Some of them like
Well,
biggie
some of
like
them
that.
don't. A lot of them don't. Yeah. Just have one person. If you were a parking structure owner downtown charging $25 for a car, if you gave a parking lot attendant $25 an hour, which you're not doing, you're probably going to pay the guy 12 to $15 an hour. But let's just say $25 an hour. It's 5 spaces, man. Mm-hmm. It's 5 spaces to employ somebody. $25 an hour from 5 to 10. Game starts at 7 o'clock from 5 to 10.
You should be able to put your card in when you start, and it's $25. That's the end. Here's your receipt.
Right.
On your way out, the gate should be opening for
automatically.
you. Automatic.
Right. I agree.
That's the way it should be. Not putting your card in again. It's a $25 flat rate. It only makes sense. Now, that's happened to Kathy and I after a Tiger game when we were on the top deck, and there was no way out. So what we did, we left, and we went across the street and went to one of the bars, sat there for 45 minutes, went back, and went right out.
Yeah.
Now, I know you just finished dinner, but the thing you should have done then, Rye, is leave and just go somewhere for a half an hour and sit.
No doubt. Wasn't thinking about that, though, at that time. And then once you're in the car and you're in the structure, there's nowhere to go anyway. You've made the decision. You're stuck. There's no decision to make. But I will tell you, Braylon Edwards, you both go down there a lot. It makes me not want to go down there. It makes me not want to support this. $80 in the parking lot? Come on, man. Who are we trying to be?
Detroit has always operated from a place where we're going to grab this money while we can because we don't know what the city is going to do. Because Detroit's always like, look, 1 minute it looks like Detroit's going to do well. Oh, here's Ford Field. It's a new arena. And the next thing, it's a desolate ghost town. I feel like this time around, the individuals that bought up all the parking structures back in the day, they know that it's going to last. So now they're milking it just like the Lions are milking their tickets, just like people that buy season tickets. So it sucks. Ryan, I feel bad for you. I feel bad. That's a horrible experience. Call it what you want. That's a horrible, terrible experience considering how long your day is throughout the week. And then this is how you end your night. But I will tell you this. You got to have a plan when you go downtown Detroit. Yeah. Like you said, me and Maz, look, I know what concerts are going on, what concerts aren't going on.
Got to.
I know what part of downtown I'm
that's why I
asked. You got to know this. You got you got to know that. And it sucks that you have to do all this information. If you're going to go downtown Detroit, It's just certain things you got to know, because you can go down there and have a jacked up experience, all for trying to party within a half a mile radius.
Yeah,
right.
Like 100%. You got to look at the schedule, look at the info. Like, this is what's going on. This is my window. I would have told you.
Hey, Jason Elder on the chat. He said parking whiz is the shiz.
Well, the problem with that is this:
you didn't look ahead because you're just going to dinner.
Right. I'm just going to dinner. I'm just going to dinner down.
Yeah.
Do you know how many
Right.
times I go to dinner
Of
downtown?
course.
Whether it's Joe Muir's
Yes.
or London Chop House
Of
or
course.
La Lanterna or
Yes.
something like that. I don't need to know.
No, I
It
know.
doesn't
Valet.
matter.
You got better parking options.
Well, it's valet,
Yeah.
though.
It doesn't matter.
That
You know?
LCA area, that area is tough.
And honestly, I'll pull up to London Chop House. There's a valet waiting right for
valet.
your car.
Yes.
You go to
Valet.
Prime and Proper, valet waiting
Yeah.
for your car.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe going to a nice restaurant downtown. They didn't have any parking options. Now, the food, again, I don't want to say the name of the restaurant because it's not fair. It was a tremendous, the service, the food was excellent.
That's great.
But I will never go back. I will never go back because of the parking.
The experience.
The parking was such a miserable
I'll get you
experience
back
for
there.
me.
Don't worry.
Well,
It's-
I don't
it's-
know.
But it's really only from, and it sucks, it's really only from Woodward and Adams over down to where Ghost, Bakersfield, that
Right.
area is like
I know what you
Midtown
mean.
Woodward. That's really where it's bad at.
Have you had the Ghost Burger?
Midtown is always open for dinner.
100%. I have. Once you get to the other side of downtown, once you get to Campus Marshes, once you get to
right.
London
Right.
Chop House, once you
Greektown's
get
not
to
that
Jefferson, and I ain't going to Greektown. He kissed my butt on that one, but like,
You
once
don't like
you get
Greektown?
not after dark.
Not
Not after dark.
Since
I'm
Derek
talking
since
about.
Delmar
Ain't
closed.
good.
I'm old school. I'm talking about anyway. Those sides of downtown are fine, but that road from Adams and Woodward down to that Midtown area, that's where all the problem is. That's where the $80 parking is. That's where those apartments. That's where they tax you $75 right across the freeway from the McLaren lot that you
yeah.
always
That's
say.
true.
That's where the nightmare is.
Do you guys remember the Lions playoff? Do you remember some of the lots what they were trying to get? And they got shut
100.
down.
They got shut down. Yeah,
They
I was
What
gonna say
they wanted? They wanted $500 or something like that. Do you
Yeah.
remember
And
that?
The city shut them
Yeah,
down.
the story.
Yeah,
the
story
story
shut
shut
them
them
down.
Down.
Yeah.
That's right.
They opened them up
Yeah.
later, but they tried to gouge. They tried to,
Yeah, they
to
tried to
gouge you, man.
gouge.
crazy.
No doubt. And
It's
again,
terrible.
like, I don't know what the answer is because obviously, these are privately owned situations. But if you're the city and you're doing a real estate deal with, a private owner, you're putting up a parking structure. I just believe there should be some sort of human being on event nights at least.
There
from
is an
5
event
to
almost
10.
every night at Little Caesars, by the
And
way.
that's the city's
Yeah.
fault.
Almost every night
Right.
there's
It's
an
the city's
event.
fault.
It's the city's fault
the
for this
city's
parking
fault.
situation. They did the same damn thing that Chicago did.
I
Did you see
agree.
that thing that Chicago sold all their parking meters?
I
No.
agree.
Yes.
They sold
Us.
all their parking meters to this Dubai firm,
Yep.
and now
Oh.
they own
wow.
all. They sold it like when Chicago was struggling, like
Desperate for money on the
Right.
brink of bankruptcy.
20 years
Yep.
ago.
Yeah.
They did this. Now it makes them $1.6 billion a year.
A 50-year park. I think it was a
They can't
50-year
get out.
parking experience.
That's what Detroit did.
They cannot get out of it, and
Holy
you're right
crow.
about that. So this
Yeah.
company in Dubai makes like at least $1 billion a
It's
year. on the
1.6
park-
they made
1.6 billion,
billion.
and the city of Chicago gets like
They're broke.
$2 million from
Yeah.
it.
They're broke.
They
That's
get like $2 million,
ridiculous.
and there's nothing they can do.
That's why they won't let the Bears build a new stadium.
That's
'cause
right.
They want
Detroit
money
did-
now.
Cities went when cities go looking for money, cities get broke. This happened. We know who was in office at the time. It was Kwame Kilpatrick, but they sold off all those private lots, all their parking, all those meters. Same thing they did with the bridge. They sold the tunnel. Say, here you go. We need that $2 million. When they start looking for money, they start doing dumb things and getting rid of all that parking because it's all private.
75-year deal.
75-year
year,
deal.
that's
Wow. I
crazy.
thought it was a 50-year deal. It's a 75-year
Pete
deal.
knows.
But again,
What'd you
like,
have for dinner at least? What'd you
Longer
have?
than a business.
I had a
Steak.
chef's. We had the chef's table. You get 5 courses
Whoa.
at the chef's pleasure.
Oh, I love those type of restaurants.
That's great stuff.
So
I've
that's
never
what we
been to
ordered.
something like
yeah,
that.
Oh, it's
there
nice,
was
Tom.
all
No.
this-
You gotta try
It was
it.
all
Tom
this
is
good
full
food,
blood.
and then it was like, do you want the chef just to pick? And we were like, yeah. And now,
So what did he pick?
He picked a lot of stuff and a lot of extra stuff because he knew how mad I was about the parking. So it was good. It was good. I mean, the experience inside the restaurant was great. But the experience of the night, and again, go to a Pistons game, man. We charged $80 for. I hate that. I just hate the gouging.
Now you see why I leave everything early.
Yeah.
I hate the
traffic.
gouging. I do. It's,
I like going early. Like when I go to a game with my family, let's say the game starts at 1. It's the Lions. I'm leaving at 10. I'm leaving at 10. 10:30 is my latest to leave because I want to go and I want to be able to find my parking. I want to be able to look around and try to find a free spot, first of all.
To the fourth floor parking, I went to the Celtics game last Wednesday. We went down there, me and Max went down there, got there early. You know what I'm saying? Got there when the game started. We were on the fourth floor, Ryan. But I tell you like this, 2 minutes after that fourth started, I was in my car and waiting to get up out of there. But you weren't going to a game. You were going to dinner.
Again,
so it's a bit different.
yeah. Hey, guys, let me share with you, first and foremost, what we're doing for the chat today. Not I'm going to get to that in 1 second, but Super Chat in YouTube. Here's the deal. Yesterday, we had new Jordan Era on with us. He donated the most money in the Super Chat.
Newest stuff, too.
Anybody that donates money in the chat today, you will have a chance to win a free haircut, scalp massage, and hot lather neck shave here at the Birmingham headquarters of Lady Jane's. Every week we're gonna pick a winner.
Yep.
So
$5 gets you in.
$5 gets you automatically entered in this. You can come. We'll come say hi to you if you do it.
We're going to pick a winner every Friday.
Every Friday we'll pick a winner. Also, the most money invested on a daily chat. We will ask if you'd like to be on the show.
Yes.
You could choose video call or phone call during the 3:35 segment. Somewhere 3:30. I don't want to be so rigid. 3:35, 3:40, somewhere around there.
Exactly. Jordan Lewis was on with us yesterday.
Jordan Lewis was on with us yesterday.
And he did a great job, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Anson will be here Thursday, Friday this week. Anson has an autographed card collection. He'll have an auction. We now step up our game as well, courtesy of Braylon Edwards. This is going to be a contest that we are running.
For the month.
For the month of March.
That's correct.
On March 28th, the Detroit Pistons play home to the Cleveland Cavaliers, the best team in the Eastern Conference. Friday night, March 28th, Detroit and Cleveland.
That'll be a sellout.
The winner will get 2 tickets for the game. They will get a Buddy's Pizza
gift certificate. So they'll be able to cover their meal for that night.
There's a Buddy's right down there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a Buddy's right down there. You can cover your meal for the night.
Parking pass,
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, so you won't have to worry about the $80 at Ryan. You don't have those
the whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. The only requirement you need to do is we're going to draw at the end of the month before the March 28th, I should say. So if you donate...
We'll draw that Thursday, March 27th.
Absolutely. If you donate $5 in the Woodward chat, which also, by the way, duplicates for any of those other prizes that we had on the show, $5 will get you 1 entry. $10 will get you 3 entries. And $20 will get you 10 entries into this.
10 shots to win a Piston game.
The more names you have, the more times we can pull your name, your number, the more opportunities, man. So we're sitting here at the end, and we're sitting there March 27th, and you're looking at it, and there's 100, let's just say Dante 151s, and everybody else only has 10 or 5 or 3 or 1. Dante's probably going to win that challenge like he wins them all.
Or at least he's got better odds.
He's got better odds. You may not win it all.
He's got like the San Antonio Spurs odds to win the lottery.
Those are pretty good.
That's what you got.
I'll throw those details in the chat for everybody too there, guys.
Absolutely.
We're going to have some fun with this. It's going to be a good night.
Absolutely. So again, we've got the Super Chat for the weekly stuff, and we've got the contest for the monthly, the daily.
Think about it like this too. When it gets to that, it'd be March 28th. When's the last time you had an opportunity to go to, see a Pistons game where the Pistons were going against the number 1 seed and they were actually ranked? And by that time, they may be 5th or 4th.
They might be 4th.
That's what I'm saying, or 5th or 4th. So you're looking at a heavyweight game, the first one that LCA has ever seen. Is that fair to
Seats
say?
are pretty good too.
Yeah,
good to see JB Smooth in the chat. Saquon Barkley, 2-year extension for the Philadelphia Eagles. The way to go, JB. Good to see you again, JB. We love you, JB.
We love you, though.
We're going to talk to Ben Leber, former NFL linebacker, does Vikings Sidelines, good friend of the show.
Yep.
We talked to him during the season when the Lions played the Vikings. I think this is perhaps one of the biggest stories. Not perhaps. This is the biggest story in the division right now when it comes to the NFC North. Will the Minnesota Vikings franchise tag Sam Darnold? Will they give him... Will they negotiate a long-term extension, or are they going to let him go and give the keys to the car to our guy, J.J. McCarthy. We're going to ask Ben that coming up in about 10 minutes from now. But just it doesn't appear like Minnesota is going to franchise him. And his future is in doubt with Minnesota.
If he gets franchises, he'll be in upwards of $40 million a year.
$41 million, I believe that is.
Yep. He might come back with a smaller deal. We'll talk to Ben about that.
Yeah.
I doubt it, though.
I guess I could tip my hand before Ben gets on there. I always love talking to Ben as well, but it makes sense for everybody involved, especially if you look at Sam Darnold just from his instance. Sam Darnold's had success, and he's had people tooting his horn when he's been in this style offense. It started with Kyle Shanahan, and now he's under Kevin O'Connell. For whatever you want to say about the last 2 games of the season, he won 13 games, excuse me. He won 13 games last year, and he's going to play with that same team. They'll be better defensively. I saw somebody say earlier, it was like, you can't put so much on those last 2 games. Everybody struggles. Look at what Patrick Mahomes did against the Raiders last year, blah, blah, blah. There's games where you see quarterbacks struggle, so maybe you don't put too much on it. Fact of the matter is he gave them a great opportunity every time he laced them up. So for Sam Darnold, I can't see him trying to break the bank. I see this is a team that wants to bring you in, give you a chance, give you an opportunity, give you a home, but also know that, it comes with a deal. It comes with the price.
Let me ask you a question, Braylon, as a former player. Sam Darnold has been a disaster with the New York Jets, was a disaster with Carolina, went to the Rams and was a little bit of a reclamation project, sat and really understood.
49ers.
49ers, excuse me. Did all that. And then you finally get to a spot. This is your 4th team in 5 years? 4th team in 6 years?
Yeah.
And you finally are playing the best football of your career with a really good organization. Dare I say, a borderline great head coach, at least for quarterbacks. We saw Matthew Stafford take less money, or at least that's the story. We still don't know the terms of Stafford's deal, but it is widely reported that he took significantly less money to restructure and stay in L.A. with the Rams. Didn't want to uproot his family. Didn't want to move. Didn't want to leave the Rams organization. Yeah. As a player, when you really have not been quote-unquote paid yet, we all know that's all relative, would you take a 2-year, $60 million deal to continue this? You're 29, 30 years old, and try to strike again at some point down the road? Or is this really, truly all about the money right now? You got to go get as much as you can get. Because for a lay person out here to hear, $60 million, what you could do in your life with $60 million. And is it that much more? Is it that much of a difference to an individual between $60 million and $85 million? I know $25 million is $25 million, but is that going to make all the difference?
Half
in your
of that's
life?
going in taxes, remember?
Right. So, I don't know. I have a hard time if I'm Sam Darnold doing anything other than taking less money to re-sign in Minnesota if it's an option.
Yeah, for those who are saying $60 million is a lot of money, for the contemporaries that sign in the same draft class, they're already making $200 million in terms of the deals that they've already done. So 60 is something to sneeze at for his contemporaries. Yeah. But with that being said, it depends on what's the other deal out there. Like, what's the other deal out there? Where's the team that's coming in and saying, just throwing out, is it the Raiders that are coming in and saying, hey, Sam, we'll give you X, Y, and Z, and this is a number, and it's, now it's in the 6 digits, if you will. Because if that deal's not out there, this is the first time I got an opportunity to be comfortable, to be in a system that I like, that kind of fit to what I can do well. I had success. I won 13 games. At one point, I was in MVP race, very loosely, but I was in the MVP race. This team embraced me. And then the coach came up there after he won Coach of the Year, and what did Kevin O'Connell say? He said, Sam Darnold is our guy. If you stay there and have success, you got Justin Jefferson, not even entering his prime yet, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hockenson, Aaron Jones is really good for them. The left tackle got hurt, and the right guard was out. They'll be back this year. Offense can be special, and this is how you show yourself. You're always talking about those proven deals. This is a chance for Sam Darnold and a comfortable offense with a great mind in Kevin O'Connell to get better and show you more and answer and check some more boxes. So if he has success there, he'll get that bag. And also, too, it stems from marketing dollars as well. Minnesota Vikings are one of the biggest teams in this country. So, I mean, the marketing dollar is there as well.
Okay, that's from the player's side. Before we get Ben Leber on, Maz, I want you to talk to me from the Vikings side.
Correct. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah, from the Vikings side.
They're not going to sign him to $50 or $60 million to ride behind J.J. McCarthy. You got to give J.J. McCarthy a chance to play, and you still need a capable backup just in case. And guess what? They have Daniel Jones sitting in the third seat right now. So I'm interested to hear what Ben says. There's no way a team is shelling out $50 to $60 million for a guy
for 2 years.
For 2 years, I don't think so.
Again, I'm just throwing out fake numbers now for a contract. In terms of a player,
if he was franchised, he'd get $40 million.
Right. If I'm Minnesota, re-signing Sam Darnold isn't even an option.
No,
not for $20 million. Not for nothing. J.J. McCarthy is my guy, and he would have been the guy last year had he not been injured. J.J. McCarthy is the guy. He's the special player. There just doesn't seem to be anything special about Sam Darnold. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
I got 13 other reasons to disagree. He won 13 games last year.
14. 14 games. They were 14-3.
Oh, that's right. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lions were 15-2.
Both teams went in at 14-2.
You're right. I'm tripping. Okay, yeah. 14. 14 is the number. Look, man, he showed you what he could do.
It's an unbelievable year.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. He showed you what he could do with that team. If you're talking about doing a 2-year deal, front loading the front year, I mean, I'm good with it. Like I think Sam Darnold gave them the best opportunity to win last year, and you saw what it was. They had the Detroit Lions even at one point, especially the first game, like, oh, shoot, this Vikings team is for real. Like, you don't want to go backwards. You want to get better while the iron's hot. You always talk, like, you don't know when the window is going to close. Is JJ going to come in and be this guy? Is JJ going to take over? And what if you go supremely backwards? Yeah, it's just tough. It's tough to see 14 wins, and it's tough to see a capable offense week in and week out, and then be like, all right, okay, I saw that, but let's go with the young guy.
We'll talk to our good friend Ben Leber from Minneapolis. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC sign and drive sale. Get a 2024 Envision, only $239 per month. 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation, $249 per month. Don't forget about that 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $789 per month. Zero security deposit, zero due at signing, zero first month payment, zero acquisition fee. Check out Les Stanford today. The QR code above my head right there. Les Stanford Buick GMC. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone, as well as the trainer with every membership you get. Doesn't matter if it's the black card or the regular card. You get a membership with every trainer. That's because Planet Fitness wants you to know that your fitness is essential. So you might as well come and do it at Planet Fitness, where there are over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations. Man, they got a cool color scheme too. I got a couple friends that are Qs, so that purple and gold kind of synonymous. But Planet Fitness, come on down, have a good fun. It's a great gym. All we're just waiting for is you.
All right, great stuff here. Talking a little NFC North with one of our favorite guys here during the season. Ben Leber does sidelines for the Minnesota Vikings.
He also pulls duty like you.
Yes, he does pull duty. KFAN and KSTP TV host, Ben Leber. Ben, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hey guys, how you doing? I apologize about the car video. I just mistimed running all my errands, and so this is what you get.
Hey, we'll take it, man. Thank you.
Man.
You look good to us.
I will say this, Ben, this is a true testament to true friendship, because it's easy to get on the show during the season when everybody's doing sports. But when you agree to do it in the off season, now I know it's real, Ben, man. Good talking to you, brother, like always.
Yeah, good talking to you. But as you know, there is no real off season when it comes to NFL talk. I mean,
yeah.
NFL dominates year-round, so even though we're not talking about any specific game for the upcoming weekend, we always got things to talk about, and I'm sure you guys are going to talk about a certain quarterback that we may or may not have starting the league year.
It feels like the biggest story in the
Daniel
division
Jones?
right now, Ben. It does. It's the biggest story in the division. What Minnesota is going to do with their quarterback position. Are they going to franchise Sam Darnold or not? Are they going to try to extend him, or – you know what? Thanks for 14 wins. Thanks for making the playoffs. J.J. McCarthy is our guy.
I get the sense that it's a handshake, it's a thank you, and it's, as they say, it's their words. They say he's earned the right to become a free agent. So I think it's heading down that road. I think ever since Kwesi and KOC took over, I think that they've wanted to get out of these major quarterback contracts that, unless you're a complete top 1 or 2 type of player, let's build the team around a younger, cheaper quarterback, and let's go that direction. So I think the game plan all along, win, lose, or draw, whether we beat you guys at the end of the season and we go on to win a Super Bowl, I think the end game all along was in 2025 and beyond, it's J.J. McCarthy's team. So I think the first deal to drop sounds like they are not going to franchise him, and now they're saying all the right things, saying they're working to re-sign him. But to me personally, if you're not going to sign him to a 1-year, $40 million or $41 million guaranteed franchise tag, then why would you work out any sort of extension where you're going to look at 2 or 3 years with over $40 million guaranteed anyway? So I feel like if you're not going to franchise tag him, then you're not going to pay him. You're just going to let him go.
Is this a situation, too, where the organization is doing Sam Darnold a little bit of they're not just cutting ties with him right now. They're trying to make it look to the rest of the NFL that they're really struggling with this decision because of how good he was for them. They don't want it to be like, oh, yeah, you suck. We're going with our guy now, JJ. They're kind of doing him a little bit of a solid by dragging this out a little bit. Are they not?
That's the sense that I get too. I mean, it's gamesmanship, and I feel like, look, he was so good for us, and I think there's a mutual respect there. So any little thing that the Vikings can do to help him squeeze some more money out of some other team, whether it's the Giants or the Raiders or whoever it is, maybe the Browns, any one of those teams, if we can help him get an extra $5 million a year, why wouldn't we do that? And I think that he'd be thankful for that. So I'm kind of with you. I think a lot of the verbiage is, the NFL doesn't like to they don't do a very good job of being very declarative and just cutting things off. And so they like to have things linger on, keep things in our stable as much as possible, use any sort of little thread of leverage that we can in the hopes that it benefits us. And I think that's kind of what's at play right now.
Ask you about the other quarterback that's there, not J.J. McCarthy, but Daniel Jones. I'm one of the few that actually liked Daniel Jones and thought that he can do well for a team. Hell, he beat you guys in a playoff game a couple of years ago, and you got him on the cheap. The Giants paid him. Does he stay and become the backup to J.J.?
I think so. I think that's sort of the idea, and I think when he got signed in the midseason, it was a mutual thing as well. It's like I think the Vikings understood this is exactly the type of player that we want to back up J.J. McCarthy. It sounds like Daniel Jones knew exactly what he was stepping into and was specifically looking not just to jump to another team just for the money, but he wanted to really learn something from KOC, and he wanted to see what all of this was about. Like, hey, what are they doing here with quarterbacks? How can this guy in the system make me a better player for the future? And I think that he's willing to take an 18-month sabbatical just to learn and sort of go back to quarterback school, and then next offseason sort of enter the free agent market, maybe hopefully a retooled player, and hopefully he has another couple of years like Sam Darnold did.
Ben, it seems like the division is starting to cook, man. You got Ben Johnson goes to Chicago. We assume that they're going to be better. We assume Green Bay is going to be better. The Minnesota defensively, we think they'll get better on that side. We want the defensive line here in Detroit. That's where all analysts, that's what I want. That's what we want to do. Got to get somebody on the opposite side of Aiden Hudson, or are we bringing somebody in for DJ Reader or Lee McNeil? What are you guys looking for? The draft just passed Minnesota. What's going to make Minnesota Vikings a better version of themselves this year in this division?
I think we're gonna be fighting for a long time. We're gonna be fighting this offseason too. I mean,
I agree.
You guys and us, we all need the same thing. I mean, to a point. Now, you guys, your offensive line is pretty stacked, so you're good. Yeah. But we're looking for the interior of both of our trenches. So, hands off all those defensive tackles and defensive linemen. Okay,
we'll fight you.
We have some outside pass rushers. I get that, but we are really lacking from an interior pass rush. Harrison Phillips does a great job on first and second down. He is a tremendous run stopper, quite the juggernaut up front. But, he just doesn't have as much juice getting vertical and getting to the quarterback and being disruptive in the pass game. So we're looking for that as well. I personally, sitting at 24, I think that we're in a really good spot to get the best available defensive tackle, interior offensive lineman, and then probably cornerback. Now, if I had my my druthers, I would say D tackle, offensive line, corner, but we're in a really good spot, I think, sitting at 24 to grab the best available at those three spots.
Yeah, give me edge, linebacker, and edge again, or some form of a D tackle. Here's a fun question that has nothing to do with what's going on currently. I remember when I was just about to get ready to go to Michigan, man, there was this quarterback. I was like, man, this quarterback is good. He's so cold. Number 7 for the Kansas State Wildcats, Michael Bishop. What was it like? You got to give me a good Michael Bishop story, because, like, he was one of those guys that you heard his name, you thought, okay, this guy is going to be the next one, or this guy is the next one. Give me a Michael Bishop story.
Well, I can tell you, we were in the same recruiting class back in '97. Now, I was coming out of high school, and he was coming out of Blinn Community College, and I didn't know much about him. The only, like, my first impression of him, once I read up on him and I saw all the accolades, when I saw him, no kidding. I mean, at this point in time, like, I've never seen anybody throw a football as far as he did. I think he threw from the goal line, and he hit the opposite 30. So it was like 70 yards in the air. And I was like, I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. And he did it so casually. He was a stud, man. I mean, he was a dual threat quarterback with an explosive arm, unlike anything that we'd ever seen at the time. And I can't imagine what our media would feel about him if he was playing in this modern college football time. I mean, it is perfectly built for a lot of the read option stuff, get the ball deep, for him to run and scamper and create. I mean, he was just phenomenal. And the fun thing about it is, he did it with a giant smile on his face all the time. He was a fun-loving guy. He put us definitely on the map. I mean, we were poised to go to the national championship game if it wasn't for those pesky Aggies down at College Station beating us in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, and I had to ask that question. I always want to and I always forget, so I got it out the way. Maz, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be, man. That's a good story, man. Hey, Ben, go back to the NFC North. I'm going to put you on the spot here while you're sitting in your car in the offseason. I want you to handicap the NFC North for me. 1st through 4th, because it's hard. That's a tough division in football. What say you?
Yeah. You know, I would probably say I'll give you guys your crown right now. You know, I'd put you guys at 1, us at 2. I got to be honest. Like I'm struggling to see. You know, I might go Bears 3 and Packers 4. I really like all the ingredients that Chicago has.
Yeah.
I think you guys probably saw it too. When they played you, they played us tough. I mean, you look at the individual and you're like, that guy's a beast. That guy's a beast. That guy's really good. And it's like, how are they not winning more football games? I think once they figure it out and once Ben gets there and gets his style and his leadership in there, I think they're going to be a really good team immediately. So I'm going to put them 3 and the Packers 4.
So you really think the Vikings with a young rookie quarterback will continue to hang in there 1st or 2nd?
Absolutely. Look, I think JJ has that. He has those intangibles that make a winning quarterback, and I think that his processing, at least the little that I saw in training camp, I know the coaches were really excited about the way he was able to progress through the offense. He's a quick decision maker. He plays fearlessly, and barring any sort of injury, I think he's gonna, after he gets his feet settled in the first couple of games, I think he's gonna have this offense humming. And the one thing that we've seen from KOC is not looking to have his full offense, installed, and he doesn't have to show to the league like, oh my gosh, look how amazing my quarterback is because we can go through this whole playbook. I think he's going to take it slow and steady at JJ's pace and still be explosive with all of our weapons. My biggest concern is we're gonna have to revamp our secondary, and I think B-Flow wants to play a lot more man coverage. I think he wants to be more physical at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he felt like he had the guys to do it last year. Now it's going to be asking a lot to go out and get some veteran guys and some young guys to just immediately pick up this defense and be a top tier pass defense. But if we can get the guys up front still hunting the quarterback, then maybe we can get they can buy us some time as our young guys in the back end learn how to play more physical.
Hey, Ben, just about J.J. McCarthy again. What is the word on that injury? What's the word on the recovery? I mean, any setbacks? Is it clean? Do the Vikings feel confident heading into the off-season programs and everything like that he's going to be ready to go day one of camp?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a lot more true insight on his knee situation, but everything that I have heard around is he's on track. I know that there was a lot to be made of the small procedure that he had done a few weeks left to go in the season. Now, conflicting reports, I heard it was just an injection, a PRP injection. Other people say it was a procedure making you think that he had to be, opened up or another scope type of operation. But whatever it is, he's going to be healthy. Sounds like he's right on track. So whenever OTAs start and he can start with phase 1, which we all know is important just for leadership, standpoint, getting out there with the guys and, sweating with everybody and really going through it, I think he's going to be ready for phase 1.
B-Flow, KOC. See, these are the things that I miss about being in the locker room. These are the things, nicknames for every single person. One is a comment. One is a question. Let's talk about B-Flow. A lot has been said about Brian Flores coming out of Miami. Like, what are the players on defense? What is their reaction? And how do they receive Brian Flores in Minnesota? It seems like it's been a match on defense. He's a fiery, intense guy, but what is the players' reception of him?
They love him. And, I know it's biased feedback whenever you're asking players about your current boss. But there seems to be a genuine love for the way he treats guys. And, I didn't have a ton of defensive coordinators. I was pretty fortunate to have, pretty steady, but when I was with Mike Tomlin for 1 year, I see a lot of similarities in the way that they conduct themselves, this intensity about which they go about. But at the same time, they know that loving on players is important. And, criticism and critique is not personal. It's just business. And it's just standard and expectation. And that's something that Tomlin talked to us about, and something I really appreciated about him. And that's something that I hear the players echo about B-Flow is, yeah, there's an intensity there, but he sets a really high standard, and he makes the standard and expectations very clear from day one. And if you don't withhold those, he's not afraid to call you out. And it's not personal, it's just business. And I think, guys, as you know, just being honest from the get-go about what we expect around here, and then withholding that, I think everybody understands that it might hurt. Your butt might feel chapped, and you might feel so diminished and this big when you're getting dressed down, but you also know it's on you. It's your fault for not withholding the expectations. So I think the guys love his style, they love his intensity, and they love everything about him.
One of the biggest gripes that we had in the area that we played in is just tell us what it is. Just tell us what it is. So you got to love that for B-Flow. Last thing isn't a question. It's just a statement. I was in New York, as I told you before, with Kevin O'Connor in 2010. And one of the things that I kind of saw from afar watching is he wasn't appreciative of how Mark Sanchez was handled as a young quarterback in that system. Now, this didn't come out of KOC's mouth, it's out of mine. But when J.J. McCarthy got drafted to the Vikings, I was very excited because I knew what type of coach he was going to be. I knew what type of mentor he was going to be, and I knew he wasn't going to put his quarterback in the same situations that he didn't like what happened in 2009, 2010. So we don't have to talk about that, but I was very excited. So I'm excited to see what could take place in Messina with J.J. this year.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a perfect match. Now, I know the proof's in the pudding. He's got to go out there and prove it. But, I mean, maybe I'll just, turn this around to you guys, and you guys can maybe just answer how you want to. But you guys are around, and you guys heard about JJ way more than I ever have. And everything that I hear is that he has all those intangibles, those natural leadership abilities. Is that true? Did you guys hear the same sort of things when he was at Michigan? Does he have that sort of it factor that everybody's looking for?
Ben, let me tell you this as plain as I possibly can. This will be the best quarterback of last year's draft. And I know Jaden Daniels is in the NFL. J.J. McCarthy, when it's all said and done, not just a one-year wonder, when it's all said and done, the body of work, J.J. McCarthy will be the best quarterback in last year's draft. Period. End of story.
I love it. You're just confirming everything that we've been told around here, and you just don't know what's real and what's not, because so many people just want to pedestalize him right now just because he is he's so well liked. There's so much hope around him that why would we want to say anything less than that? So yeah, I'm so glad to hear you say that, because I think that's the sentiment that everybody feels around here.
This kid is everything you could possibly want in a franchise quarterback. Everything. From the way he plays to his championship mentality to his team and organization. He's a great teammate, great with the media, just a tremendous – he is by far –
They drafted him already, right?
Everything you want in a franchise quarterback. I mean, I'm just telling you, I love this kid, and I hate that he's with the Vikings as a Lions fan. I hate that he's with the Vikings as a Lions fan. But yeah, he's everything. And again, I know Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams and all these guys, they're going to have great years and great stats.
Drake May.
When the career is done, talking about career, this guy is going to be right up there, if not number one.
Yeah, so excited. I know that he just turned 22 years old too, so he's super, super young. So hopefully we're doing these interviews 15 years from now and he's still the quarterback.
Last one, Ben. You really truly believe in the Detroit Lions repeating? Because I know you gave us our flowers a few minutes ago, but we have our doubts as well. I mean, we took a beating in that playoff game against Washington. We got our comeuppance in that game. Do you think the Lions are ready to take that next step?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a big loss for you guys, on both sides of the football with your coaching staff, and that'll be obviously a mark of a great team and great leadership from the top down. Look, I don't know Dan Campbell, your head coach. I just know of him, and it seems like I think that he probably has a great eye for player talent and a great eye for coaching talent. So I know you guys will probably reload with the coaches. I mean, you guys, I can't imagine going through all those injuries that you guys went through defensively. I mean, it was amazing that you guys even put together the year that you did. and had that much success. I mean, it's no surprise maybe everything caught up to you guys in the playoffs, but the way that you guys are coached, the way that you guys are built, I know that everybody has to reload at some positions here and there, but I just kind of like the way you guys are, the DNA of your team. So until you guys are knocked off, you guys get the right to run around with that crown.
Ben,
Sounds
thanks
good.
so much for spending all this time with us, man. We
Thanks,
really
bud.
appreciate your perspective on everything. And obviously, we're JJ fans, so in turn, we're Vikings fans to a point. To a point.
We'll give you a skull.
Love it. I love it. We're chasing hearts.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ben. We appreciate it. We'll
Take
talk
care,
to you
buddy.
again down
Thank
the
you.
road. You got it.
100%.
You know, and again, it's
Always
so
good to see
easy.
Ben, man.
It is so easy to dismiss J.J. McCarthy because of the injury, because we haven't seen him, because another guy went out there and won 14 games. But I believe in this kid, and I know I'm going out on a limb here. I think I am going out on a limb based on what Jaden Daniels is. Jaden Daniels was great last year. In fact, not only was he great, he had the best single year a rookie quarterback has ever had in this league. That is
Crazy.
That is high praise, taking nothing away from Jaden Daniels. But again, I consider a great career a lot of winning and championships involved, and you might not have the best statistics year in and year out, but he is going to be looked at like, man, that guy, when he was playing, he was it.
Yeah, I love it. I love your infatuation with J.J. McCarthy. He's a great kid, and you saw great plays at Michigan. But part of the thing, Ryan Ermanni, it's not because he got injured. It's because coming out of Michigan, there was a question mark on, can J.J. McCarthy be an NFL quarterback? Can he lead the Minnesota Vikings? That question was before the draft. Then that question was after the draft. And then what happens, Maz, before the season starts? He gets hurt. So now you're talking about a guy that just turned 22, had to sit out his rookie year in which he came out early, and there were already questions surrounding what type of guy he is. I think that's where you see the questions about JJ, is because there were questions before the injury. Look, he's definitely a leader. You know, you saw that again and again. He understands the concept of team. He went to the University of Michigan. He's got a lot going for him, but potential is nothing if you can't put the work in and you can't put it forward on the field. So it's gonna be interesting to see. He could not be in a better situation though. Like I was telling Ben Leber, like when I was in New York, Brian Schottenheimer, everybody involved, they didn't necessarily do the right things by Mark Sanchez. To me, it's just me. It's just my opinion. Kevin O'Connell was one of the guys that was there, and he saw that. He got to see firsthand how a quarterback could potentially get, start the process off wrong.
Was he the backup or the third string?
Kevin, he was a practice squad guy because there was Mark Sanchez, it was Kellen Clemens.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, Kellen Clemens, and then we had a Tennessee quarterback, I can't think of his name. But anyway, long story short, Kevin O'Connell saw those things, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do with JJ. But there are questions, and rightfully so.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm not kidding about this NFC North.
Yep.
You heard Ben. He's got the Packers maybe in fourth place. I think all four teams can make the playoff.
I don't hate that Packers call in fourth place because when we talked about this, I was really struggling with who to put in fourth place.
Minnesota,
and I think
Chicago.
Braylon was rightly said not last place, fourth place.
Yes,
because
fourth
fourth
place.
place might be the fifth or sixth best seed in the
league,
in the NFC.
Right.
I just believe what they did last year was a miracle with this reclamation project to win 14 games. Maybe could have had 15 if Sam had a better game because he missed those two open receivers. That would have been a different game, that last game of the year. But for them to go get, and I know you laugh at me, Bray, Daniel Jones was an absolute steal for them to
agree.
to stock away for this time because they're going to let Sam walk. Sam's not going to be a Viking. But to have JJ and Daniel already know each other, they spent a half a season together and the whole offseason going into this year. That's a hell of a backup quarterback to have Daniel Jones waiting in the wings. I'm telling you.
And the NFC North is going to be fired because you look at the Green Bay Packers in Minnesota and the Lions, they got money to spend. They have money to spend, and both those teams, all three of those teams, you're talking about playoff teams, double-digit wins, 14, 15, 11, I think, for the Green Bay Packers. They're only going to get better. They got to get better for the division. The hell with the NFL. They got to get better just for the NFC North, and that's going to make them better by the NFL. So it's going to be another tough offseason. It's going to be another tough year. I look forward to it, but that's why you start looking at certain things, Ryan. That's why you look at windows. That's why you look at missed moments and opportunities.
I think this was Bob Quinn when he first got the job, and this was actually a great way to look at it. It was exactly as you just said, Braylon. When you come to a relatively bad organization, now they came right after Jim Caldwell, so the Lions you felt were on the brink, not tearing it down, but you thought they were going to take the next step. You know, Bob Quinn said this isn't about competing against the rest of the NFL or the rest of the conference. This is about competing against the 3 other teams in your division. You need to start there. Go head-to-head with them. Match up with them. Now, he wasn't able to do that, but the strategy, the mindset in terms of getting to that spot was at least the appropriate way to look at it.
If you beat those 3 teams, you're in the playoffs.
Because you play them twice.
Not only that, if you beat those 3 teams, especially when he was thinking about it, you're probably going to be the best team in the NFC.
Hell yeah.
At the least, you're number 2. You're talking about the Green Bay Packers. When he was talking about Green Bay Packers, 13-3. Now you look at them, they're still a powerful force. If you can be better than the Packers, better than the Vikings, and better than what we think the Bears and Ben Johnson are going to be this year, that puts you number 1 or number 2 behind the Eagles or whoever at that time.
That's correct.
Next season is going to be that whip. You got to worry about your division.
Did you hear about who Ben Johnson picked up today in a trade?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
He got
Jonah.
Want to do it now or want to take a break?
Go ahead.
Former Lion and now Ram, Jonah Jackson, is now a Chicago Bear for a 6th-round pick. The kicker is the Rams said, you want him, you got to take a salary. They're paying $17.5 million to bring Jonah Jackson in, a guy that Ben Johnson obviously knows from his years with the Lions.
Familiarity, man.
I think it's a good upgrade. I know he had a bad year, but I think he has a chance to rebound.
I absolutely do. And again, it gets back to, familiarity. For the coach knows the player, and the player knows the coach.
Right.
And that's where you had your success, right? You were a highly successful player under Ben Johnson's offense to the point where you got paid in the offseason, and maybe you can rekindle a little bit of that magic.
Familiarity sometimes will get you in trouble. I don't think this is going to be a good move by Ben Johnson. I think he went after a player he thought he knew. I think once Jonah Jackson left, got paid, went on to another organization, is coming back. I don't think he's that same hungry player. And I think he's going to get dish-ragged this season. I'm happy they picked him up. It only helps our defensive line out.
Maybe it just goes to show you how bad Chicago's offensive line really is.
Very true.
Right
That's
now
true.
as
Yeah,
well.
they'll take anybody.
Guys, we cut it off usually around the 15-minute mark. If you want to get in today, if you want to be on the show, donate. Go to the Super Chat in YouTube. Super Chat, the person that donates the most money will be on today with us in the 335, 340 segment. If you want to go to the Super Chat, that's on YouTube.
Don't forget about the Pistons.
And absolutely, the Pistons contest as well. That
Pete's been putting it up there.
That information is in the chat. The Pistons package entries, $1 or 1 entry is $5. 3 entries were $10. 10 entries for $20. And again, that's for the game. 2 tickets and dinner. Pistons and Cavs on a Friday night.
And parking.
And parking.
Also, too, hey, if you guys don't want to join in, I will take the tickets and the parking pass and the buddy certificate as well and go to the game.
Good stuff. All right, we're going to take a break. Come right back. It is the story of the NFL today, and it revolves around Shedeur Sanders and his attitude. We'll talk about that coming up. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
Everybody stay connected with Woodward Sports on all the social platforms. You can follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, along with YouTube, Twitch, and, of course, TikTok for the latest sports news, live updates, shorts, and behind-the-scenes action. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button now and be part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network, and that is Woodward Sports. We'll be right back.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. We take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. And speaking of Lady Jane's, Rando Smalls with his $5 Super Chat entry is included automatically now in the weekly Lady Jane's Haircut giveaway. How about that?
Plus, he's the leader in the clubhouse if he wants to talk today.
Absolutely. We got another 15 minutes if you want to top $5 at about 3. Whenever I take a break, after 3:15, it's 3:18 sometimes. Whenever I take that break, the leader that has the most money, we'll see if you want to join us on the show today in the 3:35 or 3:40 segment. Rando Smalls, $5, leader in right now. Heard you guys are going to the Ally Challenge in Grand Blanc. Better have some seating for us fans. You know anything about that?
Shit, you better get your own seating. It's expensive up there. It's a lot of fun, though. Yeah, maybe we'll have another challenge around that time and get some people, into
I'll bring a box
contest,
with me, Randall. You can sit on a box.
Yeah, it's fun for fans, though, but you got to scout that in advance, if you will.
Ooh. All right, good stuff. Hey, guys, I want to get to what I think is really the story of the NFL today, and that is regarding Shedeur Sanders. A quarterback coach from a team drafting in the top 7 referred to Sanders as coming off as brash and arrogant in his team interview. Josina Anderson reported that. She went on to talk about a lot of things and how a lot of teams are moving off of him because of his arrogance, because of his cockiness. And I'm curious to see what you guys think about that. Braylon, we'll start with you.
Who are these teams? Is it the Tennessee Titans, who are number 1 pick overall? Is it the Cleveland Browns, who are number 2 pick overall? Tennessee,
Giants,
and Ohio, and the Giants. That's the narrative now. Like I don't like this narrative because when I played, and I remember this, teams wanted you to be appreciative that they were going to select you to come into the NFL, and I was excited. Like, look, the Cleveland Browns, they chose me 3rd overall. For all the jokes that I crack about the Cleveland Browns, I appreciate that they gave me a chance. They gave me an opportunity. They drafted me 3rd overall. There's only 2 spots. that are higher than this. But the whole time I was in those meeting rooms, it was like it was an honor, and they wanted me to be a certain way. And I think these teams, they still want players to be that, but they don't give that. The Giants aren't a respectful organization. You don't respect your players. How am I going to go into this meeting, and I know how you don't respect the guys that sweat and put it all on the line for you, like Saquon Barkley, like McKinney, that you just allowed to go, and you were ignorant about it. The Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns, you're going to tell me that I'm arrogant? All right, maybe I am. But I'm not you. I'm not some desperate organization that's been struggling for relevance since their team sent them away and then brought them back. Like, I'm not that. My dad has always had money. He played in the league. My dad's in the Hall of Fame. Now I played at Colorado. And you told me I was that deal. This is what the media has told Shedeur Sanders. He's that good. Yeah. The NIL has told him, and he's that guy. The cars that he's able to drive because of that. So you can't create this system and then try to tear it down. Cleveland Browns, you guys are idiots. The Deshaun Watson deal, how many times do I have to go over and over and over? But you want some respect from Shedeur Sanders? And I think y'all should start giving more respect. You're not in the situation of the power and the leverage where we were supposed to come into the rooms and just like, oh, you know what? Thank you. Yes, sir. No, sir. What would you like from me, sir? Would you like me to stand up and jump on one foot? Would you like me to say I love this? I ain't got to do all that. Like, look, at the end of the day, y'all need a quarterback. Y'all need me more than I need y'all. I don't need the Giants.
Right.
I don't need the Tennessee Titans. I don't need the Cleveland Browns. You guys need me. So stop with all this arrogance or he rubbed me the wrong way. Miss me with all that. Your organizations rubbed me the wrong way and have for a very long time. I don't want to hear this. This is BS.
That's well said.
And they try to knock his stock down so he drops in, so he drops further in the draft because they don't like his father, because they don't like what Deion Sanders is. Give me a
Remember what Deion said when he wasn't going to be drafted? If the Lions want to draft me, they can forget it right now. You remember those words?
Josina Anderson also reporting that she is purposely not naming the team as not to directly call the team out. She is just sharing this personal assessment from this coach.
It's Brian Daboll in the Giants.
Daboll had his feet up, remember?
It's Brian Daboll. Like, we know who it is. And he was my offensive coordinator at one point. So I know the type of person he is.
Let me ask you guys this, because I have said I don't think Shedeur Sanders is a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, it's got nothing to do with how he is. That part aside.
Yeah.
Those are two different things. I don't think I just don't think he's a franchise quarterback. There is a reason why there's teams not chomping at the bit to trade up to draft him.
Yeah.
And I don't think Cam Ward even a little bit, but the word today that the Giants are trying to trade up to draft Cam Ward.
All rumors and innuendos.
All rumors, right? I mean, in a league where the quarterback, a rookie quarterback, means more to a franchise than any other position in sports, probably, and I just spit all over myself. Yeah. But a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal is probably the most important position in all of sports because of what it means for your salary cap. The fact that teams are not chomping at the bit to do whatever they have to do to draft this player that we know of anyway, is telling about how they feel about him as a franchise quarterback. That's completely separate from the cockiness part, which I
don't forget. Not everyone likes everybody.
But hold on. Not before that. It's March the 4th, and we're talking about teams. Oh, they're not doing everything. We don't know what the teams are doing. We don't know what teams are doing. What teams are gonna come out? I remember 2 years ago, y'all told me C.J. Stroud couldn't read. Nah, I'm over exaggerating. Talking about same thing. People.
That was like a rumor.
Same thing. People. Same thing. People. Remember it came out about, he skipped this camp because he wasn't going to be prepared. And he wasn't the type of guy. He went second. He was the best quarterback in the draft.
Yep. Right? Like, what does that matter?
It's only March 4th. We got to stop with all the rumors and all the things. This will change by the time we get to the draft, April 20th or whatever the date is for the draft. But one guy doesn't like you. Now he wants to be a douchebag, and he put this information out there and do this. So I would push back on the people and all the people, and they're not doing the things necessary because it's March 4th and the combine just happened.
I wish I had a list of starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now in front of me. 32 of them.
Right.
We have not seen a player, in my opinion, and I'm going to pull one name out in a minute after I say this, but if you go through the starting quarterbacks in the NFL, we really have not seen this type of player in that he is extremely. He's cocky. He's a cocky player. Let's call it like it is.
Yeah,
he's got the wristwatch, and he's dancing. You may love it, you may hate it. It doesn't matter.
It's just a different era.
Again, I agree with you on that. I'm not having an opinion on it.
Right.
I'm just saying he is that. He is that. He's gonna go. He's gonna make a play. He's gonna go up to the coaches and show his wristwatch. He's gonna do that, and he's unapologetic about doing that.
And so was Baker Mayfield. He went number 1 overall.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that work in the NFL today in a locker room? Because I go through 32 starting quarterbacks, and there's only one guy in the league that I see as arrogant, as flat out arrogant.
Yeah.
Not he's arrogant, and everybody's trying to kick him out of the league. There's one starting quarterback in the NFL today.
Joe Burrow?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
Rodgers is an arrogant prick, and nobody wants to deal with him.
That's correct.
The teams, the organizations, nobody wants a piece of Aaron Rodgers.
He's super talented.
He's super talented. So you will deal with it to a point if you're an organization. You will deal with it if you're an MVP-type player. Now, Aaron Rodgers is not an MVP-type player anymore. That's why he's begging for a job. And when you look at arrogant players, just off the top of my head, you mentioned Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, for what it's worth, until he got humbled, that's really when he started winning.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, he was the first quarterback to win a playoff game in Cleveland.
Okay.
Since
That's
Bernie Kosar.
I'm just saying, that's and if that's the ceiling, I don't know. I mean,
The Browns missed the boat.
Jay Cutler, prick, arrogant. Johnny Manziel.
Johnny
Manziel, another one, as arrogant as they come, doing all this. That's really kind of, I think, the last player that really went out there.
Yeah.
What happened to Johnny Manziel? Johnny Manziel's a dead ringer for that type of play, where it makes a play and gets in your face. Cam Newton.
Yes, Cam Newton, and he was that type of player, and the NFL hated him. That's why he never got the personal foul, the roughing the quarterback. We understand, because they didn't like the brashness and the flashiness. I understand that. But all these quarterbacks are doing that in college, too. Jaden Daniels was doing that. Like, this is the era we live in, the flash, the nails, and all this weird stuff. It's the era we live in, and that's what it's going to be moving forward. Shedeur Sanders' father is Deion Sanders. Whatever team eventually drafts Shedeur Sanders, Deion is going to have that conversation. There's just certain things that you can't do at the quarterback position. I agree with you. Deion Sanders will have that conversation. His son will, when he gets into the NFL, it will be different. But all these quarterbacks that come out, when they're in college, they do the same stuff. Jaden Daniels did the same stuff. I've seen Drake May celebrate after touchdowns in North Carolina. It's just the era we live in. They're all like that.
I got two more pricks. Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep.
And
he was a true blue. He was a true blue prick.
Hall of Famer, though.
Yep.
And another one.
Not a great guy, though.
Terrible teammate, Jeff George.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's right.
I mean, I'm just thinking about. I'm thinking about guys that were.
But to celebrate and make you a prick, because if that's the case, we got a lot of pricks on the Detroit Lions.
Well, I'm not calling. Shedeur Sanders a prick. I'm calling him arrogant.
Okay.
These other guys are knowingly pricks.
Right.
I don't know Shedeur yet.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't know Shedeur
yet. To
yet.
the layperson listening, they'll think you're classifying him as the same.
I'm not calling Shedeur Sanders a prick. I'm calling Shedeur Sanders cocky.
Agreed.
I don't know him yet. I don't know what kind of pro he's going to be.
You're right. He is.
I'm talking about former NFL quarterbacks that we know that have a track record because their teammates have told us, because of their success or failure rate in the NFL, because of years and years of examples that they have given us till we know who they are. I just listed 10 of them, and unless you're a Hall of Famer, you're out of the league.
Okay, this is true.
So,
and even then.
So I'm asking you, I don't think Shedeur Sanders is that type of player. I could be totally wrong. I've been wrong a lot, and that's fine. And if I'm wrong on him, hell, you showed me a video, Colin Cowherd, and all the things he got wrong. I mean, I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong.
It's your opinion.
It's my opinion. We all got him.
Yeah.
But if he's not that, does that play in the NFL today? And maybe it does. Maybe this is just a a new NIL era where it does. I have yet to see it work yet. I've yet to see that type of player work yet that is not a Hall of Famer.
You know what it's like? Remember Any Given Sunday? Remember the infamous when Jamie Foxx character, Willie Beeman. My name is Steeman. When he's on fire, he's cooking. He's got the Metrex commercials. Yeah. You know, he's with his car. He's with his girls. He's at the parties. And remember, he's talking to the interviewer. He's like, you know, it's like they're not even gonna touch me. You know, once I put that invisible juice on, like I'm gone. Mm-hmm. And the player and the team, they ain't doing any of that. They said nothing when that was going on, because what was going on when they were doing it? They were winning. Yeah. Then what happens to the one game they play in the rain and he's fumbling, he's doing all this, and then the big lineman comes up to her, where the F is your invisible juice now? Yeah. That's the NFL, and that's what I love. That locker room will never change. Yeah. You come in with all this rollies and the buffs, and you throwing it up. Yeah, you go ahead and go throw 3 picks and watch what that locker room looks like. Yeah. You watch what that locker room you walk into when you got Dexter Lawrence, a man-child, grabbing you like, say less. You know what type of guy Dexter Lawrence. So that's where I'm at with that in college versus when they get to NFL. You heard Jalen Johnson, what he said about Caleb. He said, I won't do all that fingernail paint. Now, I mean, he still did it, but the season is what it is. The locker room is where you'll get that course corrected. Mm-hmm. Like the locker room, because
that's right. You got to, but again, you got to have a strong locker room. So where do you go? Do you have a strong organization?
Who are the top 10 right now in the draft? Read them to me. Top 10. Start with the Titans.
Tennessee, Cleveland, and Giants.
That's 3. But she said someone picking in the top 7, right?
Here we go.
So let's see. Let's go off.
Okay,
no, top 10, she said.
So
top 10.
You've got Tennessee.
They're a pretty bad franchise.
Cleveland.
Terrible.
New York Giants.
Bad.
New England Patriots. Don't need a quarterback.
Right, but go ahead.
They're pulling themselves.
Jacksonville.
Also
terrible.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Terrible.
New York Jets.
Terrible.
Yeah, he's screwed.
Carolina.
Awful.
New Orleans.
Terrible.
Chicago.
Bad.
Don't need a quarterback.
Don't need a quarterback.
But could be getting better.
So let's eliminate the teams that don't need a quarterback. Bears, Patriots, and there was one other that didn't need a quarterback.
Carolina probably won't. They've got Bryce Young.
Probably.
Jacksonville.
Probably out as well. So there's 6 now.
Yeah.
Those 6 teams are dumpster fires.
And again, why?
Like Braylon said, if those 6 teams are the ones, one of them is the squeaker.
If I'm Shedeur,
who
give me the Raiders.
gives a damn? I don't want to go there anyway.
Yeah.
I want to be pushed down to tell you the truth. I want to be pushed down into the second half of the first round.
Right.
I want to go to a good team, a team that has a chance to make the playoffs.
And the only reason probably Jaden Daniels, the number 2 pick in the draft this year, was as successful as he was because they changed ownership. And you had a successful ownership change that created a culture that was conducive to winning championships.
Yeah. Burn for $2 in the super chat. I'd give terrible interviews with that top 3 as well. Yeah. He's right. Well, I don't want to go there.
He's right.
But again, I hate to keep beating a drum here, but we talk about Daniel Jones. Here's a perfect example. Daniel Jones could be the prime example. Sam Darnold certainly was. It's not when you go. It's where you go. Sam Darnold with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. Franchise level player. He's going to make himself $40-50 million. Sam Darnold with Carolina, bad. Sam Darnold with the Jets, out of the league. It's not when you are picked. It's where you are picked.
Zach Wilson.
Braylon Edwards, go to Cleveland with Derek Anderson. Is the best quarterback you've ever played with in your career. Not a Hall of Famer. You go with maybe Ben Roethlisberger or somebody like that in Pittsburgh, you're a Hall of Famer. Yeah. I mean, it's just that simple.
Maybe his dad told him, hey, man, this is what you're going to do when you talk to the Giants. You're going to sit there.
I say this part about Shedeur Sanders, too. Maybe
his dad coached him.
Forget about that. Maybe because his team was always not the most talented against the team that he played in college, maybe that's why I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. Right. If all things are equal, maybe he is. But that's why I'm sitting here and not a general manager, too. So just saying that.
Yeah, look, man, Deion put a big bullseye on Shedeur Sanders this season. Deion being Deion. Deion made the comments. He said, we're revoking this, we're revoking that. It has to come through us. We'll only play in certain places, Like, so we get it. He put a big bullseye on Shedeur. Shedeur welcomes the bullseye. So I just go back to the era. It's the era when things aren't. It's the era when you brag about yourself, you post yourself, you're on IG, social, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is what teams are getting in college. You're getting a brand. And I think part of his brand, it stems from who his father is. Deion's always been this. Deion told you a story about the 40-yard dash. He pulled up to Indianapolis in a limo, jumped out, ran 4.21, jumped back in the limo, and he was on the PJ. This is Shedeur's father.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got coached up by his
100%.
dad, who's a Hall of Famer. By the way, burn another couple of bucks in the super chat. Hit it on the button. John Elway and Eli said, we ain't playing there.
Exactly. Nobody had the match.
And you know what's funny? And Burton's got another Burton's $2 away from being our super chat winner today. He's $2 away from doing that. If you want to do that, Burton, wouldn't it be something?
Yeah.
If New York Giants had the #1 pick next year, and Arch Manning coming out,
God.
and the Mannings pull a Chargers and say, we're not going to your organization. You guys suck.
Well,
we're
by
not
then,
going to the Giants.
By then, they'll have a whole new organization. Right. So Shane will be gone. Brian Daboll will be gone. So
maybe. Last thing I'll say about Shedeur Sanders is this is a good piece of what I've seen on film. You guys have watched it too. How many games does Shedeur Sanders come out of because he's scared of getting hurt? How many times did Shedeur say, I ain't playing the second half?
Nobody's talking about his toughness.
I know, but I'm talking, this is a quarterback. There's a ton of things we haven't seen out of J.J. McCarthy, but the things that we know we bring up, the leadership, the toughness, and this is what I'm giving Shedeur. Toughness, leadership. He was out there in the clutches, in the throws. He never ran.
Well, it's definitely going to be an experiment because we have not seen a player like this in quite some time.
All quarterbacks are experiment nowadays. Like, who's not an experiment realistically? Yeah. Like, how many, like, in the last 5 years, quarterback drafts?
Oh, well, yeah. That alone is an experiment. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. All right.
Rando's the winner.
Rando's the winner today. We're going to get in touch with him. Absolutely. We'll do that. We'll go around the NFL as well. Lots to get to on a Tuesday? How about that?
Tuesday.
But first, a message from us here at WSN.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? I know you are. It's a new era in sports wearables. We got new designs, amazing apparel. It's all in one place. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Hoodies, tees, hats. All of the designs are guaranteed to turn heads. Tigers about to kick off this season. Don't break out the same stuff you had from last year. Get some new Tigers merch, man. Red Wings, Pistons, doesn't matter. They got it. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Go there now. We'll be right back.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Well, Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help you. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. That's $5,000 that's in your pocket, not theirs. Call Mark White & Associates today, 248-290-8242. You can visit them online as well. It's markwhitesells.com. Again, Mark White & Associates, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Hey, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Just for show purposes, Rando Smalls has declined our invite today. He's lost his voice to join the show. He was our Super Chat winner today, but he automatically has one entry into our Pistons contest where $5 gets you one entry, $10 gets you 3 entries, and $20 gets you 10 entries into a contest that we'll pick towards the end of the month to have 2 tickets, a parking pass, and a night out at Buddy's Pizza for the March 28th Friday night game, Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that is included also as a $5 chat. Rando will be included in our weekly Lady Jane's haircut
There you go.
giveaway.
A $5 well spent.
Absolutely. So good day for you, Rando Smalls. We encourage everybody to get involved as well. $5 gets you included in all this stuff. I wanted to get to this. I think this is tremendous. And I love having my eyes opened up to new ways to look at things. And Howie Roseman, the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, has opened my eyes to a new way of looking at stages of winning a Super Bowl, where you are in your life, and he correlated it to having sex. Take a listen.
Is this PG rated or PG-13?
Whatever you want.
Yeah. So I'd say like the first one's almost like, can I say this, Bob?
Yes,
can we delete this? Is this live? You don't know what I'm saying? You don't know what I'm saying?
This is the best part. You can be you.
It's almost like the first time you have sex. You're so glad you had sex. It's not even the quality of it. The second time,
That's actually great.
The second time, it's like, wow, I could actually have fun and enjoy this. And so I would say, and Bob just had sex for his first.
How great is that?
That's on the money.
The difference between winning your first Super Bowl and winning your second Super Bowl. The first time you do it, it's like when you...
The first time you get there.
The first time you get there, you're not a virgin anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you just did it, and you're so happy that you did it.
The Lions are at second base.
You don't even know what happened. And then the second time you do it, you're like, dang, this is kind of nice. And I say that I put that in the category of where Lions fans are today. Lions fans are in the courting stage. Yeah. Lions fans are trying to get to third base right now, it feels like, and just get to a Super Bowl, heaven forbid, win it. You know, if making it to an NFC championship is
third base,
is second base, and making it to a Super Bowl is third base, and winning a Super Bowl is ultimately completing the deal, the Lions are still in the courting stage.
We might be at the movies with our girlfriend. I just want to get there. Like I said, any team fans that complain about their team, and Ben Leber almost went there with the Vikings when he said, you know, we were pretty close with them. No, you're not. You've been to 4 Super Bowls, Ben. The Chicago Bears have been to 2 Super Bowls. The Green Bay Packers have been to 4 Super Bowls. We have been to none. The Carolina Panthers have been to 2. You can go on and on. It's us and then 3 expansion teams. That's it. Texans, Jags, Browns. Now, I know the Browns were around just as long as we were, but they're the Ravens. Okay? This is a new Browns team. They're an expansion team. We're the only show in town. that has not been to the Super Bowl in this Super Bowl era, when it was been called the Super Bowl since 1967. It's something that you almost can't wrap your head around as a sports fan looking at it. There's a lot of people that don't really know that the Lions have never been to the dance.
Right.
I bet you Terry Bradshaw doesn't know that they haven't been to the Super Bowl.
That's not saying much.
I'm just saying it's a sad state of affairs. We are owed
Lions
a Super Bowl.
Lions fans, not speakers, know, and we're in a bad space. Like this is it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you go from all the years of complaining about what you haven't done and what you've never done, and in this era, and 50 years and 60 years and 61 years. Well, guess what? It came and it went in terms of, well, you won 9 games, then you won 12 and won the division. Well, you won the division and the number 1 seed, but nothing happened. And then this year you lost in the second round of the playoffs. So I think where the Lions fans are, this isn't the happy phase anymore. There's no, oh, we won this game, we're happy. There's no, oh, well, we got to the playoffs. Like, this is a bitter phase. Like, this is going to be a bitter offseason for Lions fans, and it will be bitter when the season starts, I guarantee you, no matter what. Oh, it's 1 win. Oh, it's 2 wins. It's kind of like in Major League when they start coming back and the guy who flipped his cap, what's his name, Quaid. Randy Quaid's, they'll blow it. Like, that's where Lions fans will be until they get to the playoffs. It's going to be a bitter.
They should be that. I mean, they haven't given us any other reason.
I agree. And I was just saying it just sucks because it went and came. Like, it came and went. It was, it's fun. It's 2021 and we sucked in 2022. Well, there's hope. 2023, oh, my God. 2024, it's us. Now 2025, it's like, this is some BS. Like, I'm not getting excited until we get to the second round of the playoffs, and maybe not then.
Right, I'm nervous as a Lions fan.
If we make it.
I really am.
Definitely.
Who are you talking to?
I'm nervous. When you just look at our division, I'm nervous. Let alone what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing, who just gave Saquon 2 years, $41 million.
Boy.
Let alone what they're doing. The Super Bowl champions. The Washington Commanders going to get Deebo Samuel, and they're not done yet. And then we just have to worry about our little division. Never mind the NFC East, the 2 teams in the East. The South, I'm not worried about them.
Mez,
the
are you
West,
nervous?
I'm worried about the freaking Rams. Yeah, I'm nervous.
Are you nervous if you get Trey Hendrickson? And the reason why I mentioned Trey, as I said it last week when you were out, it's not going to be Myles Garrett. It never was, regardless of what they wanted. It's not going to be Max Crosby. Trey Hendrickson was the name that I said last week, Pete. I said it'll probably be him.
Yep.
Like, you got a team that does not pay, a guy that deserves an extension, and you got a first-round pick right there in Chambers. Are you excited if it's Trey Hendrickson? Are you – what's the question that you just said? You said you're worried. You're nervous.
I am. I'm worried about –
Are you still nervous and worried if you get Trey Hendrickson?
No, I'd be a little bit happier that I know that I'm helping out my injured warrior, Aiden Hutchinson, who's not going to be himself for who knows. It might be a half a season before he really goes after it. Zadarius Smith, I'd like to keep him, but I'm not sure if they're going to pay.
He's in Africa right now with my girl Cash Doll.
I saw that.
You know, Cash Doll.
She had some side, what going on.
Cash Doll used to be my neighbor.
Talk about
you kidding?
Yeah.
She did. Gross Point, she did.
Yep. Cash Doll used to be my neighbor. Lived right down the street.
Really?
Yeah.
the things I thought I'd never hear Ryan say.
Oh,
My girl,
man.
You got it.
Dog.
See, we got to catch you up, man. Ryan got some. Ryan got some hip.
Did she show any side, there, then?
Well, I mean, I'm not like,
I know, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Ish.
I'm joking.
Ish.
Yeah. She lived just down the street.
Rando
Just down
Smalls,
the road.
another $2 from
Come
Rando.
on, Rando.
He says, Mass, screw that. Bring on anybody. Man, I'm telling you, Rando, I hope you're right, brother. Burn. Was it Rando? No, it's Rando.
Yeah,
I hope you're right. Don't hold your breath, is what I'm saying. Don't hold your breath.
You talking about in terms of making moves? Hey, look, they were in. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say they were in on the Myles Garrett thing, but
No, he's saying don't worry about it. They're gonna win. That's what he's saying.
Oh, I don't know that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect anymore out of this team.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with Lions fans. It's hard to be realistic with you.
We're like a beaten
But again,
spouse.
if you say anything bad about them, they are like the 15-year-old that is going out with a girl for the first time, maybe going to the movies or something. You know what I mean? It's like they're in the goo goo gaga stage. It is like, you know what I mean? You are literally in a goo goo gaga stage because of where you came from. What's the movie I think it's like 90s, early 2000s, where the ugly girl becomes the hot girl.
Oh.
You know,
She's all that.
She's all that.
Oh,
She's
Ricky.
all that. The Lions are in the she's all that stage now. You know, she went from this ugly girl to now being the belle of the ball.
Yeah.
And we don't know how to deal with that reasonably.
Yeah.
I don't feel as the Lions, you can't critique them. You can't say anything about Dan Campbell. You can't say anything about Brad Holmes. You can't say anything other than they're going to win the Super Bowl. You can't give doubt on anything or anyone, and heaven forbid, and I've been guilty of this.
Talk about Goff.
You say one thing about Jared Goff, it's kind of like you're talking about my mama.
Yep.
Even if you just simply recite his stat line, if it's a negative stat line, then you're dogging Jared Goff out.
If I call him a statue, which he is, I get in big trouble.
That is the stage we are at with the Detroit Lions right now. You can't say a word negatively about them still to this day.
His former OC called him a statue in so many words, man. He's like, I've never had a quarterback with mobility.
Ben Johnson. Yeah.
Like,
Did you guys play that sound last week?
Okay.
But again, we're all waiting to be offended about something. Just like Lions fans, come on, man. If you're Ben Johnson, you're propping your quarterback up.
He's just busting Goff's chops.
Yeah.
He's a Jared Goff. You heard him.
Busting his chops.
Just busted his chops.
Yeah. So good.
He likes Jared. I'm just saying, if you go back to that San Francisco postgame show 2 seasons ago and you look at Dan Campbell, he is us. He's me. When he says, I don't know if I'll ever get back here again.
I always hated that he said it.
And last year proved that. 15 wins, 22 injuries. That's what I'm saying. They had their best season in Lions history. And with that, they had to go to the last game of the year to win their freaking division. 22 men lost to the IR for defense. Unheard of. It's Lions luck.
I'm not a fan of that comment. I never was. And the only reason why is I don't like putting negative energy out there in the world. Now, what he said is very true. Like, trust me, I've been to 2, and that second one was damn hard to get to. And then we got popped in the second one. But when you put that energy out there, now you're going to have a team of guys, and this is just my thoughts on it. Let's say you get to that first round. Now each round of the playoffs, now what are you doing? Now you're pressing to get to that next round because ultimately Dan said, it's going to be super tough to get back to that NFC Championship. And I just don't like putting unnecessary pressure and stress on a moment. A moment is the moment. Nothing more. But when you put it all out, man, it's so tough to get back to the NFC Championship. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to do it again. Go ahead, Pete.
I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Brad. I hope I didn't interrupt you. I
No,
have some
you're
breaking
good.
news from Jordan Schultz. Breaking news from Jordan Schultz.
Howard Schultz's son.
Yeah, Howard Schultz. There you go.
I knew it was good.
The Vikings and quarterback Sam Darnold, since we are discussing it, have been in discussions about a short-term deal to keep him in Minnesota. There is mutual interest from both sides following his resurgence season. That is from Jordan Schultz.
Burn $5. The other problem with the Lions fans is that we always expect the sky to fall in on us and Roger Goodell to show up at our house and give us a gut punch.
And one more little piece of news. The Minnesota Vikings have tagged Sam Darnold.
Get out of here!
No,
Just that
that's been
fast?
tagged.
They have what?
They have franchise tagged Sam Darnold
Get out of here.
per Adam Schefter.
I said it made sense.
Get
to
Leber
keep
back
him.
on the phone.
Get him back on the
Strike
phone.
while the iron is hot. You won 14 games last year.
Wow,
he knows the system. You're trying to get better. They need to get better on the defensive side of the
Text
ball.
Ben.
Like,
Where did you get that?
I said Adam
it's
Schefter.
legit, first
not
of all.
Adam. Not the porch.
Is it Adam Schefter?
Not
might be
Schefter.
Schefter.
This is
I believe you.
Schefter.
The Vikings officially will not be tagging.
Okay, see, I'm blind without my
Sam
glasses. God damn it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm blind without my glasses.
And we apologize.
I
for
apologize. Guys,
It
I
is late.
apologize.
We apologize for that.
I'm
and
blind without my glasses.
And it is the day before Lent.
Oh.
We do not condone
Sorry.
the Lord's name in
Sorry.
vain.
I apologize.
We
Okay,
apologize.
do not call Ben
twice.
Leber back.
I apologize.
Cancel the
God bless
cancel
it.
the call.
The
God
Vikings
bless it.
officially will not be tagging Sam
I beg
Darnold.
for apologies and forgiveness, please.
It's all
Sorry.
good.
You're forgiven.
You're
I'm
forgiven.
sorry.
You're
Sorry.
forgiven. You're forgiven. Your buddy Rich Baldwin is not forgiven though.
No,
did you put him in a 30-minute timeout?
Yeah, he's in a timeout. Rich, go to your corner.
Go to your corner, Rich. Rich said that I was, what is he? Racial profiling.
Racial profiling.
Giving all those white quarterbacks.
If anything, that was fair.
I was, heaven forbid you say anything bad about anybody.
Throw Dan Marino under the bus. Let's make it even.
Right. I mean,
talking about no brothers, man.
Yeah, heaven forbid you say anything about him. You say anything about a brother.
Hey, man.
You are a horrible person, right?
We got enough people talking stuff about us, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't need you too, man. You one of us.
Oh, my God.
So let's go over that.
Everybody's great.
Let's go over that breaking news again one more time.
Adam Schefter.
The breaking news is Kyrie tore his ACL. That's the breaking news.
We can get to that next. Vikings officially announced they will not be tagging. Actually, the Vikings have not officially announced it. Sources have told Adam Schefter that the Vikings will not be tagging Sam Darnold.
Yeah, franchising for 40 years.
No
crazy.
surprise whatsoever. Guys, we'll take a break, go around some of the other big stories in sports, including that terrible injury to Kyrie Irving last night.
It's not
and the Pistons won again.
Absolutely. We could talk a little NBA. This might be the worst month for a single franchise.
Yes.
That we have seen in quite some time.
Yep.
Talking about the
Especially
Dallas
the
Mavericks.
fans.
Okay, yeah.
We'll talk about that coming up next. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
Attention, you sports fans out there. Do not miss out on our expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine. Of course, he joins Big D Energy on Tuesdays, joins us on Thursdays, breaking it all down, keeping you on the field and making us feel better about Aiden Hutchinson. That's right. Trust the guy at DMAC Trust. He is here to keep you in the game. For more information, it's 248-426-9944 or MichiganSportsandSpine.com.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Well, everybody, you got to scan that QR code above my head and use the code word Woodward1000 to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. We got March Madness coming up. We got Tigers season and the MLB season starting. We got your NBA and NHL playoffs coming up as well. So open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. When you do, deposit at least $20. Make a first bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you'll get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000. But only if you scan that QR code above my head and use the code word Woodward1000 to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account, gentlemen.
I think it's the worst month an NBA franchise, maybe even a sports franchise, has ever had. Trading away
a guy you wanted to pay to go see every single day.
A young superstar in the league that got you to the finals. Having that player you got in return go down essentially for the rest of the regular season, and then the guy that you had left to pick up the pieces, Kyrie Irving, tears his ACL last night. Horrible.
If I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, I'm just appalled at what the organization is doing. You know, and this all stems from when Mark Cuban, a competent owner who figured out his Dallas Mavericks over the years, got them to win a championship. He sells to a group. It doesn't even matter what the group is, or that doesn't matter. Sold them to a group that didn't know what they were doing. They were trying to get the casino, the hotel, the whole experience, and they didn't care about basketball. Now you done sold your best player away. You gave him away like a thief in the night. And now the Lakers are doing well. Lakers are number 2 seed. Now the Mavericks. You lose AD the very first game because he's an injury-prone player, as you said, Maz, and he got injured. And now Kyrie Irving, who splits time with Luka Doncic in terms of the load of the minutes. But now you got Kyrie out there who's, ever since Luka left, guess who's playing the most minutes in the NBA? It's Kyrie Irving, who also fast this month.
Bro, yeah.
Who also the faster of this month. So you look at it, it's just unnecessary loading, and this is why a lot of NBA players complain about load management, and this is their, I guess, defense. But it just sucks for the Mavericks, man. That organization, that group, they don't know what the hell they're doing. And now your star player
That's wild.
Man, let me tell you, I love Kyrie Irving. I respect that guy more than just about anybody in the NBA. He is
shot those free throws.
Like, he loves basketball. He's a great teammate. You can go back to the situation in Brooklyn and all that stuff. I tell you, you're wrong about that, because in the end, he was right, by the way. Yeah. In the end, he was right. And then he goes to Dallas. He goes, this isn't going to work. Helps that team get to the finals. Yeah. And then he goes down with a horrible injury for a basketball player. For anybody, but specifically a basketball player with all the stop and start. Gets up, won't come out of the game until he shoots his free throws. I mean, Kyrie Irving is a warrior, man, when it comes to sports terms. I respect that guy. He's on a list, let me tell you about that, the guys that I respect in the NBA. And in sports, really, because of his competitiveness. He's got that Mamba-type mentality.
Yeah, his mentor.
I hope he comes back and wants to play and wants to do this more. I just don't know if he does. After it feels like an Isaiah Thomas type exit.
He will, because he's hungry, and ACLs are not the end all be all. They weren't when I played, and they darn sure aren't now. I agree. A lot is made about him. He's one of those type figures, those pariah type figures where things happen. Some of the things he's done, I don't agree with, but the majority of the stuff isn't that big of a deal, man. Like, he left to get out of Cleveland because he was tired of all the politics that come with LeBron. What are we all complaining about? What are we all complaining about? But he didn't get.
Guess what? LeBron screwed him again.
100%.
Right.
And he didn't get any love at that point. It was, Kyrie, he's a baby. He's this. He's not appreciative of King James. He wanted to get away from all that. He just wanted to hoop. He wanted to play basketball. He didn't want to be dealing with the media and who's getting fired and what execs. That's LeBron's cup of tea. Same thing happened with Brooklyn. Like, how don't fans have to get vaxxed, but I got to get vaxxed? Right. That was his whole thing. He said, so fans don't have to get vaxxed. Teams coming from Toronto don't have to get vaxxed. But we got to be vaxxed here. Didn't make sense to him, and he stood on his principles.
Good for him.
Yeah, you may hate it, but that's a guy with conviction, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a guy's conviction. He's not going to sell out for anybody.
Nope.
So
I appreciate it.
whether you agree with that stance or not, I think you absolutely have to respect it.
Yeah,
1,000%.
He's one of those rare players that every team he goes to, the team gets better.
Yep.
And that's rare, very rare to find.
And let me say this about LaFraud for a minute.
Please.
Let me just say something.
You have the floor.
You guys know how I feel about it. I just can't. I just never liked him.
LeBron James.
Never. He runs the NBA. And it's sickening. Now, the more I find out about it, that he could look AD in the face on a FaceTime call and say, I didn't know anything about this, when they both have the same agent in Rich Paul. He's a liar. And Bray, back me up. Yeah. He made that trade in the middle of the night. I don't know what the Lakers had on the Mavericks GM at the time and the owners. I don't know what they had.
They're all female. They're all female group. They don't care about basketball. They care about the money, the coin, the dollar.
But to trade
because they don't know.
25-year-old guy
because they're idiots.
In his prime, in the heat of, and then LeBron lies about it.
Look,
and then what happens to AD? Comes out, plays a half of a game. He's really good. He was a very good player. All right, but he's an injured player.
Yeah, LeBron to trade anybody. He traded his best friend, Dwayne Wade. Didn't even tell him about him when he was in Cleveland. Like, we know that to be.
He's just a shady bum.
Look, I back Maz up in this sense. Look, I go against Maz when it comes to LeBron and certain things because, look, even if they gave him the superhero, super soldier serum, he still plays at 22 years in the game. He's still balling. So I will go against Maz on that. But he's absolutely right. Lay GM, lay executive, or whatever you want to call him. Like, this is him pulling the shots. We know Michael was able to pull shots when he was the man. Bird and Magic were able to pull shots when they were the guy. When you're the guy, they'll let you pull shots. And this is a guy who every time we look up, it's, LeBron is, 50,000 all-time points. They got a stat for LeBron each night you turn into the game, what he's now accomplished. They do not want to see their king, because they anointed him the king, even though he doesn't have more wins than Jordan. They anointed him the crown. They want him to go out with a championship. They want him to go out with some type of flair, which is good for basketball. Like, when LeBron wasn't in the playoffs, like, it sucked. Like, you can admit that. Like, LeBron is a part of basketball, so they want him in his final push. And the Lakers, which is the most storied franchise in basketball history, well, them and the Celtics, they want it to be a dance. They want it to be a potential thing there. So,
well, there are guys out there like me,
yeah,
where my season starts when he's out. That's when I enjoy it. Because I can't enjoy watching him and his team win. I don't want them to ever win. If he's on the team, I want them to freaking lose. Every single
just love
game.
It. I just love it.
I just hate the conversations. Like, that's what I hate when he's playing. Like, he dominates every conversation. Even if LeBron's team didn't play, he's gonna be the conversation.
Like the Cowboys.
Like right now, I want to be talking about I want to be talking about Cade Cunningham. I want to be talking about what OKC is doing. Like, I want to be talking about the Atlanta Hawks and blah blah blah. But no, I got to talk about what LeBron did. Them moving up to Luke blah blah.
Here's the deal with that, Bray, and I feel like I am a little bit of a expert in this, especially over the last few days. I've really dug into our numbers here on our show. And I'd like to talk about a million other things.
Lions.
But we're in the views business.
Yeah.
We are in the views business. We're not in the make the audience happy business.
Nope.
We're not in the make us just talk about whatever we want to talk about. Yeah. We'd be out of business if we did that.
Yeah.
We are in the views business. And so are ESPN and Fox and at TNT
Radio
and everybody
stations.
else.
Yeah.
And so
Dallas Cowboys,
it's
LeBron
the
James,
Dallas
Shohei
Cowboys,
Ohtani,
yes.
and Aaron Judge.
It is. You may say you want to hear about the Kansas City Royals and the great job they're doing, or Cade Cunningham and the great. These are footnotes at the end of the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? These are footnotes, because what pays the bills is LeBron James. Yeah. Because why? Because he draws a reaction. People love him. People hate him. You need people to hate as well. That's why I hate when people get offended that people don't like everybody.
Yeah.
You need people to love the Dallas Cowboys and hate the Dallas Cowboys. You need people to love the New York Yankees and hate the New York Yankees. You need people to love the Dodgers.
It's the
hate
Howard
the
Stern
Dodgers.
method. The people who hate.
Now the Lions are
watch
winning.
longer.
You're starting to see people hate the
fact.
Lions, and
There
that's a
you
part
go.
of it. But now it makes a better story.
Absolutely.
When everybody was just on the coattails of Lions, oh Lions, this, I love the Lions, blah blah blah. Oh grit, all that Dan Campbell, Bionica. But now that it's like, man, I hate the Lions. They suck. This, that, they're dirty. Now it makes a better story.
It creates a story, and that's the word. This isn't just. This is all about. LeBron James hate is the topic. Again, like we talk about LeBron James hate, and people get offended or whatever when everybody's offended by something like, oh, you can't hate LeBron, you got to respect him. No, that's what pays the bills. The fact that people hate him.
Yeah.
It pays that people hate the Cowboys. ESPN has created careers based on people dogging the Cowboys. Like that.
There's no Ed Werder without hating the Cowboys.
Exactly. Ed Werder had a
Yes.
30-year career at the network because people hate the Cowboys. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. And listen, I'm just learning about all this, or not learning about it, but actually realizing it once you see and do a little deep dive in the numbers. Yeah. You know, you can talk about a Pistons. Oh, the Pistons are the greatest topic in sports. Pistons and the Red Wings, the greatest. You get lucky, you get 500 views.
Yeah.
We make up a topic about, not make up, but you're
Have to talk about the Lions.
Talk about 10,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Myles Garrett 8,000.
Amazing.
Darius Slay 8,000. Myles Garrett 14,000.
Okay, how does that?
Kate Cunningham 800.
Yeah.
When does that? It'll never be status quo because football is the thing. It just is what it is. But when does that change for Tiger love, for Red Wing love, for Pistons love? What do those franchises have to do to get the fan base in more? You think?
Join the NFL?
Is it? No,
I don't
well,
think-
I'm
right.
saying, is it?
I think it's impossible. Yeah.
Join the NFL.
That is it. Join the
Listen,
NFL.
they play too many games for people to give a damn about them.
Yeah.
They play too many games. NHL, NBA, and baseball.
I mean,
Okay, if you're
you got
Pistons,
17 Sundays.
if your Pistons were now going to the Eastern Conference Finals every year, 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row,
Yeah.
does that change? Does that bring in more?
Perhaps.
That's what I'm saying.
Perhaps.
Tigers win the World Series, and now do we?
That might get you a week of shows.
I would love to talk about it. Hey, I would love to talk about them. The Lions screwed us this year. We said it. They took a month and a half of programming away from us by losing to Washington in that first
Right.
week.
That's real.
A month and a half.
They did.
It just is what it is, man.
By the way, the Pistons won last night in convincing fashion.
By the way,
Yeah, they're a 35-win team, beat a 15-win team. They get the Clippers tomorrow.
I want to let you know what happened last night with the Pistons.
Red Wings host the Carolina Hurricanes tonight at LCA.
Coach of the
Ryan,
month.
don't go downtown and look for a parking spot.
but again-
the Red Wings are home.
Coach of the month.
Put up, we
Oh,
did
yeah, JB Bickerstaff.
Good job, Coach of the Month, JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
Look, we
I
love
don't
the
like
Pistons.
this.
It's not that we aren't trying to talk about them at all. It's just like it's a business too that we're trying to run here.
It was,
You know what I
explained to
mean?
me, it was explained to me early in my radio career that it's not a non-profit feelings company.
Right.
He's like, you don't work for a non-profit feelings company.
Right, exactly. This isn't about your feelings, okay? This isn't about your feelings. Great stuff. Bray,
That
get us
said,
out
we
here.
have no idea what we're talking about tomorrow.
I'm going to go get hot lather neck shave right now and a hot towel treatment.
I just love that we're in the point with the Detroit Pistons where last year they won a total of 9 games. Now here they are 35 games in, and last game they played the Utah Jazz, blew them out. I was like, no, that's the Jazz. I'm not going to tune in. You got to tune in to the wins. Like, look, it doesn't matter who they're playing, who they're winning. The Pistons are winning, so tune in. And also,
And that'll be the last word on the Pistons.
love you guys. Appreciate you for tuning in to the show. Mine that was with Maz, Ricky Burns, Pete Spivak, Tom Mazaway, Ryan Ermanni. I'm Brandon Everson. We will see you, man.
Let's go, Red Wings.
That was great.